Good day, class, and welcome to our chapter 3. And our topic is all about the needs assessment. So, first, let's talk about the learning outcome. So, at the end of this lesson, you can able to, of course, discuss the role of the organization analysis, person analysis, and task analysis in a needs assessment or need assessment. Also, you can able to identify the different methods used in needs assessment and identify the advantages and disadvantages of each method. And at the same time, you could able to discuss the concerns of upper level, mid-level, and trainers in needs assessment. So let's have first the introduction. So when we talk about the needs assessment, it refers to the process used to determine whether training is necessary. So we all know that in conducting training, it requires also budget, materials, resources, and other resources. So therefore, if let's say no the training no that we implemented are not really important or not really necessary, parang nagsayang lang tayo ng time, effort, and money. Okay? So, sabi din dito, needs assessment typically involves the three, no? We have the organizational analysis, person analysis, and task analysis. So, when we talk about organization analysis, it involves determining the appropriateness of training given the company's business strategy, no? Its resources and support by managers and peers. So, syempre, no, you have to analyze first, no? Ano ba yung overall business strategy nyo, no? The goals, objectives, etc., no? At ano ba yung mga resources na meron ka, no? It could be the materials, it could be the rooms no, available for possible training. It could be the stores that where of course now where training can be conducted. So and of course the behavior or the support of the managers and peers towards the training activities. So kailangan nating i-analyze 'yon. Also, we have to do the person analysis kung saan it's all about determining whether performance deficiencies result from a lack of knowledge, skill, and ability, which is considered a training issue. So, pag lack of knowledge, skill, or ability, no, may kailangan talaga na training dyan, no? And we have to do conduct no person analysis to ensure na ma-elevate natin yung mga lack of knowledge na yan. Or from a motivational or work design problem, no? Pwede rin kasi na yun nga no, soft skills no na there is a lack of motivation or the work design no is not okay that resulted to for cooperation among units or among department or sometimes no it leads also the motivation the work design kasi overload sa work or parang hindi ganun kaganda yung mga proseso so and identifying who needs training and determine employees readiness for training kasi class no hindi lang naman natin pine-prepare yung training content but also we are also trying to prepare the trainees, no? In a way na, ano ba, ready na ba sila for training? Baka mamaya, nasa training room sila, pero ang iniisip pa rin nila are the problems in the respective department, 'di ba? So, you have to elevate first, no, those things before we could able to proceed, no, with our training proper. So I remember class no before no there is the a company network appliances or the NetApp. So ang ginagawa kasi nila is they create storage and data management solution no that help customers accelerate business no through outstanding cost efficiency. So yun nga no dun sa innovative storage and data management na yon ay mas nagiging cost efficient yung mga businesses, no? Kasi normally class, no, ang mga pagdating sa IT, pero silang mga malalaking mga CPU sa kanilang head office, no? Tapos mine-maintain yun, kailangan aircon, tapos dapat meron dong 24/7 na personnel, no, to monitor, no? Kasi pag may mga nasisira, it needs immediate repair kasi magma-malfunction yung mga sistema dun sa mga stores. So, to cut the story short, yun nga, no, dahil dun sa ginagawa ng NetApp, nami-minimize na or yun nga, kung overall, no, pwede nang wala nang ganung mga hardware and nasa cloud na lang yung data management, okay? At yun, every period, nagbabayad sila dun sa NetApp. So, anong ginagawa ng NetApp in relation to training? Siyempre, they really provide support sa kanilang mga um, computer experts or employees or mga engineers, no, na kailangan is dun sa first year nila on the job ay makapag-adjust sila, no? Kasi syempre, even though they have the knowledge, no, the new employees, no, have already possessed the knowledge in IT, but the adoption of the system of the company might be difficult, no? So, therefore, syempre, no, during the 1 year, ang ginagawa nila is, ang ginagawa nila class is, yun nga, no, meron silang mga e-learning, no, na ginagawa, no, e-learning, tapos meron din silang mga hands-on work, no, in the classroom, as in hands-on since they are, 'di ba, computer engineer. So, hands-on in the classroom at meron ding mga cases, no, which are led by the senior engineers. Nang sa ganon ay dahil nga bago sila, possible hindi pa nila alam yung mga ganong problema, but the senior engineers has already the wisdom over that para at least ma-minimize lang yung mga ganong concern. At nagkakaroon na rin doon ng succession planning. Dahil, syempre, once na mag-retire yung mga senior or they resign, may mga papalit sa kanila. And of course, the task analysis, which identifies the important task, knowledge, skills, and behavior that need to be emphasized in training for employees to complete their tasks. So, syempre, no, in doing the task analysis, you are checking ano ba yung mga step-by-step na ginagawa ng employees. Then, from that point of view, no, do that employee possess the right knowledge, skills, and behaviors in conducting those tasks? So if let's say no, the majority of the let's say no, the employees cannot able to perform the task, let's say the cashiering procedures, 'di ba? Kunyari lang cashiering procedures, tapos maraming na-short, no, nagkakaroon ng overage and short dun sa kaha, no, dun sa change fund, example lang 'yun. So you need to work on the task analysis to identify ano ba yung kailangan pa nating i-improve, no, dun sa employee na yon in relation to the task. So, why needs design is necessary? Sabi dito, no, training may be incorrectly used as a solution to performance problem. Okay? When the solution should deal with employee motivation, job design, or better communication, performance expectation. So, minsan, no, hindi lang naman training ang parang solution, no, pagdating sa performance problem. Sometimes you have to also consider yun nga, yung employee motivation, if the employee is really engaged at work, no? Pag sinabi namang job design, it talks about yung mga tasks, no? The qualification, no? The duties and methods, relationships na kailangan dun sa trabaho na yun. Sabihin na natin, no? For example, let's say a delivery truck driver, no, whose job is to deliver anesthetic or painkiller, no, gases to medical facilities. Let's say na the driver mistakenly hooks up the supply line of a mild anesthetic to the supply line of hospital oxygen system. So kumbaga, nagkamali yung yun nga, yung driver, no, na yung imbes na yung supply line yung ng Kasi sa mga malalaking hospital sa Amerika, may parang silang supply line oxygen, tapos may supply line sila ng anesthesia, no? So, to cut the story short, yun nga, nagkamali siya, no, na nilagay niya dun sa, yung parang, yung anesthesia dun sa oxygen. So, ayun, no, um, syempre, it will cause problem to the hospital, no? So, the lack of knowledge about the line hookup, no, nung driver, um, is something na ano parang syempre no possible na hindi niya alam yun, no, and he was not properly trained or hands-on training to do that. So syempre possible din talaga na nakaka-demotivate yun. Okay, so ayun no, that is an example of there is an issue on training. Pero for example, let's say yung driver, no, mababa yung sahod o hindi maganda yung pay system ng kumpanya, tapos he continuously, rant, okay naman yung performance pero hindi siya masyadong ini-increasean. So that is an example of not related training issue. Okay? So that's an example of that. Training programs, no, may have the wrong content, objectives, or methods. So possible na pag hindi tayo nag-needs assessment ay yun nga no, mali yung content no, hindi maganda yung objectives at mali din yung methodology. Kasi minsan hindi lang pwede puro classroom, hindi lang pwede e-training, hindi lang din pwede hands-on training no. Sometimes it requires different methodology like case study, mga ganon, um, work simulation, etc. So, bakit ba kailangan ang needs assessment, no? Trainees may be sent to training programs for which they do not have the basic skills, prerequisite skills, or confidence. So, minsan, no, yun nga, no, kanina sinabi ko yung readiness, 'di ba? So, possible din kasi, kunyari, no, advanced accounting. Baka mamaya sa basic accounting, hindi na sila marunong. So, paano pa sila matututo ng advanced accounting, 'di ba? So, again, that is just a basic example of the readiness. So, bakit pa kailangan ng needs assessment? Because training will not deliver the expected learning behavior change or financial results. No? So, kung hindi natin gagawin yon, possible, hindi mabago yung kanilang behavior at wala siyang epekto dun sa financial no aspect ng business. And also, money will be spent on training programs that are unnecessary because they are unrelated to the company's business strategy. So, kagaya ng sinabi ko, masasayang yung pera kasi hindi naman pala related yun dun sa strategy na gustong puntahan nung kumpanya. So, in this figure, we can see the causes and outcomes of needs assessment. So, we have some reason or pressure points. So, ano ba yung mga yon? Of course, we have the legislation. Okay, talks about the policies, the regulation. So, new policy, something like that. It could be the lack of basic skills. We have the poor performance. Also, kung may new technology, no? Customer request. It could also be new products, higher performance standards, and new jobs. Okay? So, what is the context, no? You have to conduct the three, no? The organization analysis, the task analysis, and person analysis, which will answer who needs training. Okay? So, dito malalaman natin sino ba yung mga kailangan na training kasi hindi naman lahat. For example, for new technology, lahat ba is gagamit nung ganyan technology? Baka mamaya, ang gagamit lang yan is the finance department. But other departments are not relatable to that new technology. So, that's an example. Or related to customer request, may kaugnayan ba si production dun sa request na yon or it is just the operation? So, you have to do, no, those three, no? And in what do they need training, no? These are the outcomes. What trainees need to learn, who receives training, what training method is appropriate, the frequency of training, because possible that you need to have follow through training for retention purposes kasi baka makalimutan. Buy versus build training decision. You can outsource actually the training in case that you don't have the manpower or resources to do that. Training versus other HR options such as selection or the job redesign. We also have the how training should be evaluated and how to facilitate transfer of training. So in this figure, it talks about the key concerns of upper level and mid-level managers and trainers in needs assessment. So first, no, in terms of the organization analysis, one of the concerns of upper level is training important to achieve our business objective? How does training support our business strategy? What are the threats to our talent base? So this could be the concern of the upper level. On the mid-level, do I want to spend money on training? How much? How will training and development help meet my business goals? Are we retraining the top talent? So again, that is the question for the mid-level. And for the trainers, do I have the budget to buy training services? Will managers support that training? So as you can see, they have different concerns, no? And they have such question on how how their department or their scope, no, can be affected. So in terms of person analysis, what functions or business units need training? What do employees need to do to accomplish our business objective? That is the concern of the upper level. For the middle, who should be trained? Managers, professionals, core employees. And for the trainers, how will identify which employees need training? So, mas specific yung trainer, individual kasi siya. On the task analysis, does the company have people with the knowledge, skills, and abilities or competencies needed to compete in the marketplace? So, that is the concern of the upper level. On the mid-level, for what jobs can training make the biggest difference in product quality or customer service? So it focuses on product quality and customer service. And for the trainers, for what tasks should the employees be trained? What knowledge, skills, ability, and other characteristics are necessary? So ito, nakafocus na mismo dun sa knowledge, skills, and ability and other characteristics. So, methods in use in needs assessment, no? So, sabi dito, no, several methods are used to conduct needs assessment. Okay? Including observing employees, no, performing the job. So, meron tang observation checklist or notes in performing that. Utilizing online technology, of course. Reading technical manuals is also a form of needs assessment. Interviewing SME or the subject matter experts. And of course, conducting focus group with subject matter experts because they have, from the keyword expert, they have a wide range of knowledge in relation to the jobs they're doing. And of course, you could also have them, no, to complete the questionnaires, no, to identify tasks, knowledge, skills, and abilities, and other characteristics required for a job. So, the needs assessment process. So, sabi dito, organization analysis involves identifying whether training supports the company's strategic direction, whether managers, peers, and employees support training activity, and what training resources are available. So, we already mentioned this one na syempre kailangan nating i-analyze muna yung buong organization kung ito ba ay sinusuportahan, no, yung training na yon, sinusuportahan yung strategic direction or the business strategies, kung yan ba ay sinusuportahan ng mga empleyado, no, mga managers, at kung meron bang mga training resources. So, sabi din dito, no, the needs assessment process provides questions that trainees should answer in an organizational analysis. Some combination of documentation, interviews, or even focus group of managers. Okay, and individuals in the training function should be used to answer this question. So, kailangan is properly documented, no? May mga interview tayo at may mga focus group discussion kasi that is part of the needs assessment process. Another one is the strategic role of training influences the frequency and the type of training and how the training function is organized in the company. So, dito, no, gaano ba kadalas gagawin? At ano-ano ba yung mga klaseng training na dapat nating i-implement dun sa kumpanya? Also, a number of studies have found that peer and manager support for training is critical, along with employee enthusiasm and motivation. So, kasi pag merong suporta, no, dun sa yun nga, no, yung mga peers and managers sa training, pinapa-attend talaga ng training, no? Hindi pinipigilan or parang sinasabi yung mga concerns, no? Kasi minsan nasa training ka tapos alam mo yun, kinukulit ka ng boss mo. So, it will lead to better employee enthusiasm and motivation. And of course, needs assessment process, no, it is necessary to identify whether the company has the budget, the time, and expertise. Kaya nga class, based on experience, no, in relation to time, hindi nagkakandak ng training normally sa operation department ng November, December because this is our considered peak season. So, normally sa mga different companies, yung November, December, yung training department, ginagawa nila yung parang planning time para sa January next year ay prepare sila dun sa mga training programs. The needs assessment process, sabi din dito, is the person analysis, no? Helps to identify current employees who need training, okay? And whether current employees' performance or expected performance indicates a need for training. Also, it includes performance problem, no? Or pwedeng changes in the job. Itong performance problem, it has something to do with his current job, while changes, let's say he was transferred or he was promoted, no? Or the use of new technology as well. Readiness for training refers to whether one employee or employees have the personal characteristic like the ability, attitudes, belief, and motivation necessary to learn program content and apply it on the job. The work environment will facilitate learning and not interfere with their performance. So, just as what I mentioned, no, yung readiness for training, ito yung parang kung ready ka ba, no, dun sa training program na i-implement ng training department. So, how can you determine that? By, of course, no, getting, or assessing the ability, no, ikaw ba may mga prerequisite ability, do you have the attitudes, beliefs, and motivation para umattend ng mga ganyang klaseng training. Let's say, no, we're talking about sales training, no? Baka mamaya, no, you are demotivated because you have a poor performance on sales and you have this attitude that you can't go on anymore. So, possible na hindi ka makikinig dun sa sales training. Let's proceed to the next one. So, person characteristic, no, it refers to the employee's knowledge, skill, ability, and the attitude. Okay, so importante na malaman natin yung person characteristic. Na sa ganun is we could have some, some soft skills training that is appropriate for different types of person. So, input, no, relates to the instruction that tell employees what, how, and when to perform. Okay? Input also refers to the resources that the employee are given to help them perform. So these resources include the equipment, the time, or the budget. Let's say no, you are an office employee. Office employee is different from, let's say, an employee who works in the operation. Why? Because let's say no, you are in the food business. An employee who works in the operation works with point of sale, works with kitchen equipment. So that is some of the equipment that are used rather by these people. On the other hand, the office employee normally use the computers. They use programs like the Excel, the PowerPoint. They also use printers. They also use scanners. So again, they differ. No, that is the input. Output is refers to the job performance standards. So meron tayong mga key performance indicators na dapat nakalagay sa job description ng mga empleyado. Let's say, no, pagdating sa kung office employee ito, being able to deliver reports every month, no, kung ano man yung reportorial requirements niya, ay dapat ma-deliver na yon or mabigay niya doon sa kanyang boss. Pag hindi niya na-deliver, therefore, it didn't meet the performance standards. Consequences refer to the type of incentives that employees receive for performing well. So here, no, we define consequences as the type of incentives. So mahalaga, class, na meron tayong mga ganito, mga incentive program that can turn into extrinsic motivation of our employees. Then of course, we have the feedback, wherein it is the information that employee receive while they are performing. It is important that they are given feedback nang sa ganon, those things that they need to work on, their current weaknesses, no, can be improved. So let's proceed with person characteristic. Okay, it is the basic skill, no, refers to skills that are necessary for employees to successfully perform on the job and learn the content of training programs. Basic includes the cognitive ability, reading, and writing skills. Sabihin na natin, class, no, supermarket cashier, okay? Ayan, cashier. Um, so, normally, no, if we're going to assess, no, the cognitive ability, no, and reading and writing, no. So, kailangan ba talaga na mataas ang cognitive ability, no, nung cashier? So, normally, it just require moderate, no, low to moderate levels of the mentioned ability. Kasi nga, it is not a managerial activity or hindi naman siya masyadong technical. So, low to moderate lang. Okay? On the other hand, kunyari, physician or medical doctor, syempre, since this, no, has something to do with, with patients and the life of the patients, it requires a higher level of cognitive ability and reading and writing skill. Diba? Kasi, syempre, ang mga medical doctor needs to address emergency or urgent cases. So, dapat mataas ang kanilang comprehension, ang kanilang reasoning ability, no? Kumpara rather sa cashier. Okay? So, cognitive ability, no, research shows that cognitive ability influences learning and job performance. So, cognitive ability includes three dimensions. We have the verbal comprehension, quantitative ability, and of course, the reasoning ability. Verbal comprehension refers to the person's capacity to understand and use written and spoken language. So, yun yung verbal comprehension, yung kakayahan mo daw na maintindihan yung written and spoken language. On the other hand, quantitative has something to do with the fast and accurate a person can solve math problems. And for the reasoning ability, it refers to the person's capacity to invent solution to the problem. So, let's continue. Okay, readability refers to the difficulty level of written materials. A readability assessment usually involves analysis of sentence length and word difficulty. So, as you can see, no, on how difficult, no, the written materials, no, is actually measured through the readability. Okay? When we talk about self-efficacy, it is the belief of the employees that they can successfully perform their job or learn the content of the training program. So, maganda na mataas ang self-efficacy ng mga employees nang sa ganon, it would easy for them, no, to adopt yung mga training content that we implement. So, awareness of training needs, career interests, and goals, no? To be motivated to learn in training programs, employees must be aware of their skills, strength, and weaknesses. So, importante na alam, no, ng empleyado, ano ba yung mga, yun nga, no, yung mga skills niya, ano ba yung mga weaknesses niya, okay? And it should be linked with the training programs and improvement of their weaknesses. So let's say, no, some employees might be having difficulty in using computers, no, due to the technology gap, no. So again, that is an example of a person's characteristic. In relation to input, no, as you can see, no, employees' perception of two characteristics of work environment, situational constraint and social support. So sabi dito, no, na ang work environment daw comes with situational constraint and social support. From the keyword situational constraint, ito pala, no, it include lack of proper tools and equipment, materials and supplies, no, budgetary support and time. So yun yung situational constraint. On the other hand, social support refers to managers and peers' willingness to provide feedback and reinforcement. So, yun yung dalawa na chine-check, no? In relation to the input, no? Yung situational constraint and social support. On the output side, no? Um, is there a poor or substandard performance? Okay? So, what does it mean, no? It can occur on the job because employees do not know what level are expected to perform. Kaya nga, no, ang ginawa yung key performance indicator, kasi at least yun, napaka-specific, no? Kanyari, the number of reports that should be given, the time that should be delivered, or the lead time that a product should be delivered, let's say this minutes or this day, number of days, ganun. Kasi nga, pag hindi kasi alam yun ng mga employees, then feeling nila, they already delivered, but it is a substandard performance. For example, they might not be aware of quality standards related to speed or the degree of personalization of service that is expected. So sabi din dito, no, employees may have the knowledge, skill, and attitude necessary to perform yet fail to perform because they are not aware of the performance standards. So in relation now to consequences, no, these are related to rewards or incentives for performance. So sabi nga dito, no, if the employees do not believe that rewards are not adequate or enough, no, they will be unlikely to meet performance standards even if they have necessary knowledge, behavior, skill, and attitude. Sasabihin niya, ay, wala naman akong mapapala dito na masyado, eh bakit ko pa itotodo yung best ko? 'Di ba? Parang ganun. So, magkakaroon ng ganun sila ng ganung attitude. Also, work group norms may encourage employees not to meet performance standards. When we say the word norms, no, these are the accepted standards of behavior work of group members. O parang yung mga department, oh, wag mo masyadong galingan, ganun kasi 'di ba? Nakagawian na natin 'yan, eh, 'di ba? So that is their culture already. The next is feedback, no? It is a performance problem that can result when employees do not receive feedback, no? Regarding the extent to which they are meeting performance standards. Training may not be the best solution to this type of problem if employees know what they are supposed to do, okay, which is the output, but do not understand how close their performance is to the standard. Kaya importante na nakaka-receive talaga ng feedback yung mga empleyado. Sabi din dito, kailangan is specific, no, detailed feedback ang mabigay natin para ma-address nila yung kanilang ineffective performance. For employees to perform standard, feedback needs to be given frequently, not just during a yearly performance evaluation. So, kailangan is frequent daw ang pagbibigay ng performance, hindi parang isang beses lang. Kasi, sometimes, no, nakakalimutan ng empleyado yung mga weaknesses niya that needs to be improved. So, that's all class and thank you so much for watching.